Hi, I'm Emma Duncan. For my anthropology project, I did my 8 articles, and my first one was about the use of Patagonian heavy metal to revive the culture and history of the Mapuche tribe, I think is how you say it. I thought this article was really interesting. I actually learned a lot about this one, about the tribe in general, and I thought something really interesting was that they fell to the conquest of the desert. So I think it was around the 1600s, the article said, and most of their indigenous culture was erased because of genocide and assimilation, like many native tribes have had happen to them. But I thought the most interesting thing about it was that I read in the article that this tribe was told they were not a part of traditional Argentinian indigenous peoples, and that they actually didn't belong there, but they chose to take back their culture anyways and their history based on what they know. And I thought that was really interesting. I thought that said a lot about their culture. And then my second article was about laughter and how laughter is used, and I thought that one was really interesting. It just talked about how women have a lot of expectations to like laugh like ladies, and hicks, like country rednecks, have the like expectation that they laugh at nothing because they lack class. And it was talking about how primates also have the ability to laugh, which I did not know before that. I thought that was really cool. But I thought it was actually really eye-opening to see how laughter like can say a lot about a person, and like it can change your like what you mean by things a lot. So like laughing in an unserious time doesn't look good. It makes or laughing at a serious time makes you look very like out of touch, I guess. The archaeological sites one, I didn't realize. For my first one, I wrote about the West Bank in Israel that's currently going through a war, and I didn't realize that people were taking artifacts and selling them on the black market. I didn't know that was something that happened in war. I don't know if it's common overall, if it's just common in Israel. I have to research that more. But I just thought that one was really interesting because I didn't realize that was something that was going on in our world. And then article 4 I thought was really fun. It was about llama poop, and how llama poop was preserved by the Moche tribe because they would make it into compost, and the compost became preserved over time. And they could go into the llama poop in the compost piles, and they could tell what the people at this time were eating, which I thought was really cool. And they used it to prove how the rich would get richer and the poor would get poorer, because they were putting the poor on the outskirts of town near the water and the borders in dangerous areas, so the rich people could be inside, and they had like greater what's it called, like ability to get to resources. And then I really expected biology to be biological anthropology to be like my most interesting like subfield, because I'm a STEM major right now and I really do like science a lot. So it ended up actually not being, it ended up being linguistic. But for my biological anthropology examples, I wrote about an article that I found that says that primates in the past typically had twins instead of single children, and how we evolved to having single children from twins because humans are obviously bigger and more complex. I thought that was really interesting, and it also helps survival chances because twins obviously typically in humans come out premature or smaller, or just like with less survival chances. So I thought that was interesting. And then the methodology, I thought this was cool because they use phylogenetic trees, and that's currently what I'm learning in my biology class. So I thought that was really cool to get to see that in my anthropology class too. And then I wrote about Iberian lynxes. So this is a species that had lost about 80% of their population by 2002 because of deforestation and their habitat loss, and also because their prey, which is a species of rabbit, was dying off due to a certain disease that was affecting them. So by 2002, there were less than 100 left in the world, and now the numbers are coming up. They're still endangered, but I believe it was in 2022, 164 of these Iberian lynxes were bred at a conservation not camp, a conservation park, I guess, and 103 of them were released into the wild. So that was really cool to me. I really like to learn about that kind of stuff. And then I really liked my 7th article. It was an article about like swear words and the implication of gendered insults. So it was a teacher that has their students scream out their favorite cuss words in class, and then they gender them based off what the kids say. So obviously there are some words that lean towards feminine and some that lean towards masculine. And I thought that was really cool. I thought it was very eye-opening too, to see like there were words I didn't think would be considered a feminine insult, but they were. So I thought that was really interesting. And then my last article was about getting rid of gendered pronouns in the English language, which wasn't something I really thought was possible, but after reading it, it really opened my eyes to like there are many ways we could just switch he and she to a term like they or something else like that. So I thought that was really interesting. It wasn't really something I had considered before. And then I wrote about at the end what I want to study. And I've been talking about this a lot with one of my professors recently, actually. But we've been talking about how we think that as a result of technology and social media, that teens or the younger generations around my age are less advanced in our education and use very, very small vocabularies as opposed to people in a generation or two above us. So that's what I wrote about there. I just am really interested in that, and I would love to know if there's like a direct correlation, because it seems to me that there is, or if it's just something that's been happening over time and it happened to their generation too, and the generation before that says the same thing about them. So yeah, thank you.